Hello everyone, this is Doris. I am back with another week of the Winter Junk Journal Challenge, which is hosted by Kim at CreativeCrafticality and Emilee at EmileesPaperCaper. You can find them on YouTube as well as on Instagram, and you can also look up with the hashtag WinterJJChallenge as shown here. I am working on week 3, which is the embellishments, and actually week 3 is ending. Tomorrow is the beginning of week 4 and the week of the flip through, so be sure and check back with the gals for their flip throughs and anyone else that may have decided to join in for the challenge. Okay, as you can see in front of me here, I have a few things that I am doing for embellishments. I've already done quite a bit, but I just wanted a couple quick things that I could do on video that wouldn't take up much time. And mostly I'm using junk, to be honest. So let's move a few of these things out of the way. Okay, and first I wanted to show this tag that I made just with scrapbook paper. If you saw one of my previous videos where I showed the scarf that I purchased at the thrift store to use for the challenge, here is part of that scarf. A couple little scraps on the back there to decorate it. And just use a little eyelet and a piece of the fabric. And you can see right along here are the fabrics that I had picked up at the dollar store before Christmas. All right, so real quick, here is a little tag, and I have several of these tags. They are perfect merchandise tags. Let me just show you a quick peek here. I have a whole bag of these, and I just pick them up, whether it's something that has to do with clothing or bedding, anything. They are just the most perfect item to use for embellishing a journal, and it makes it so easy, something that you already have on hand. Okay, so right here we have this one. This is from a candle. I went ahead and sanded the back of it a little bit so you could go ahead and just write on there. I don't feel like I need to put any paper or fabric or anything on there. Just gonna leave it as is. And all we're gonna do for this one, grab my Fabri-Tac, since I'm using a little bit of fabric here, is I am just gonna put a little bit of glue on there. And then I'm going to add this tiny little piece of lace. So just quick, easy little things. This one already has the eyelet and string to it, so I don't even have to worry about that. And there you go, just like that. You have this cute little tag ready to put into a journal. Okay, so let's move on for the next item. Next is another tag, a Life is Good tag here. Just a simple tag, already has a little hole punched out. You can put a string in it if you want. And all I'm going to do with this, let me go ahead and grab my art glitter glue for this one. I have this little piece that I cut out with a 1-inch punch, maybe 1.5 inch. I cut out of a, it was a snowflake gift bag. So we're just going to add a little glue on the back of that. Put that down to cover up those words. There we go, like that. And then I have this little piece from my dollar store fabrics. Love the little denim piece. And this is something small, so this glue should work just fine. We're just going to cover up those words with that little piece. And then on the back, I pre-cut out a piece of lined paper from a little notepad. And very simply, we're just going to kind of go around here with a little glue. Tack that paper down. I could have used a glue stick on there too. That would have been just fine. And we are going to just lay that right on there. Lay it down. And then I'm going to flip that over and just take my punch to just put a hole through the other side. Sorry about the noise on that one. Okay, and then on the back, just for a tiny bit of detail, I have some snowflakes that I stamped from a Stampin' Up! Set that I have. Cut it out with a little 1-inch punch. Add a little bit more glue. We're gonna just add that to the corner. Another glue, you have to make sure you keep the top on. All right, and then I have a couple, well, let's trim this off just a little bit, the little white edge. And I can make that look better later, but just for the sake of the video. All right, I have a little eyelet. And I have my handy dandy crocodile. Make sure I have it the right direction here. And we're just gonna put that in and squeeze that. There we go. We have the eyelet all secured down, and then I just need to pick out a little piece of trim. I have lots of beautiful trims, a lot of vintage trims that I've collected over the last few years. I'm just going to kind of thread it through that hole. There we go. And I'll probably trim a little bit of that down later. And so here's another little merchandise tag. Very easy, quick. All right, and that's our second one. Moving on to the third one. I have this other piece of junk. The white crochet, I think I have it right here. White crochet trim from the dollar store. It came with this hooked onto it. And I went ahead and already sanded it down a bit, just so that anything I glued on would stick a little bit better. And all we're gonna do with this is I've pre-cut out a couple pieces of paper to cover up the wording. So let's go ahead and glue those down first. Just a quick little bit of glue. There we go. And we'll go ahead and put one on the back. Just like that. That's all covered. All the wording is covered. Then I'm going to add a little bit of my fabric trim and a piece of vintage lace I had on hand, glued them together already. So we're just going to go ahead and tack them down with our Fabri-Tac. Just a little bit of that. There we go. Add that on right to the middle. You can see how I've glued it on there. And then we're going to add a little stamp that I had, my Stampin' Up! Set. Cut it out with a scalloped circle punch, this little birdie. And we're going to just glue that on. I'm going to put him right there. Oh, isn't he cute? See, it's just so simple. You don't have to do anything that's rocket science here. Just keep it fun and simple. And then the other part of this, I just had some scrap papers I've done some watercoloring on, some lined paper. This paper here is part of the gift bag that I use to create my journal with. Makes for great writing paper. Here, another graph paper that I did some stenciling on. Now I'm going to be taking this to my sewing machine, so just to sew this part down. And then I'll tack this on. And you can see, just like that, we have this adorable little writing tablet. And all with things that you have around the house. All right, so that's another project. And then one more. Again, we have a piece of junk. This is the glue stick that I like to use, the Elmer's Extra Strength permanent glue stick. I sanded this down a little bit again. So for this one, we're going to take some of the cute scrapbook paper. Again, this is Stampin' Up! From a couple years ago, and I've already pre-cut it. And we're just going to go ahead and glue that on first. Look at that junk. It turned out cute just like that. No time at all. Looks like something adorable that you would use in a book. Okay, then on the back, I have the graph paper again. I've cut down. We're just going to go ahead and glue that on the back. Okay, so now that we've covered our trash on both sides, we're going to go ahead and use our paper punch to cut that hole back out. Another little thing I'm going to add on the back is this little fox. And all these characters are just adorable. They all came from the same paper pad. Just see how cute that looks. That little, just a little touch of something. One more thing I'm going to do on the back is add a stamp I have here that says "Your friendship welcomes my heart." We're going to just add that right here on the side. I'm just using some retired Stampin' Up! Turquoise ink. There we go. See that? Just a little touch of something goes a long way. All right, so we're done with the ink. And again, I happen to have another eyelet here, so we're going to go ahead and put that on just to reinforce the hole here. My crocodile. And I probably will add something else on here. I'm just not sure what yet. We could go ahead and add some little trim. I have some vintage seam binding. We'll go ahead and put some of that on there. All right, these are a little long, so we're going to trim them off. There you go, just like that. There's a lot of other things I could add on here. I could add a little ruffle or some scrap fabric. How about we just add a little piece of this lace trim? I think that would be cute. Let me look in my little bag of tags. And I just bet I have something small. Oh, here's one. So look at that. I could just stick that in there. See? Maybe put a little stamp of a snowflake. Oh, that looks really cute. Okay, so let's trim that off a bit. Hope all of you are doing well. I know we have been getting a lot of snow here in Nebraska, but it looks like warmer days are ahead, so that's good. All right, so there's our cute little tag. And I think for now, I'll just go ahead and put this down in there. Oh, and it even had a little bulb pin on there. And there you have it. So we have a handful of little projects to add to your journal. Very quick, easy. Not a lot of expense, but certainly fun. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed my little tutorial here. I'm not usually the one that does tutorials very much, but I'm trying. All right, so be sure and check out that #WinterJJ challenge, where you can see the other crafters that are participating in the challenge and their work that they've done up to this point. And like I said, I have just completed week 3, which has to do with embellishing. And then week 4 is all about the flip throughs. So be sure and check back for week 4 and see how different and all the fun that we have created in our journals. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.